This is The Scoop for Thursday.
I'm Lisa Marzilli with the WMNF News headlines. A bill that is advancing in the Florida legislature would allow craft breweries to sell up to 5,000 barrels of malt beverages annually to licensed vendors. This would allow them to bypass a distributor. WMNF's Faith Montalvo reports on what this could mean for local breweries and on concerns by opponents.
House Bill 499 advanced through the House Industries and Professional Activities Subcommittee with a vote of 13-2 on Wednesday. Currently, alcohol distribution in the U.S. has a three-tier system. It requires that producers of alcoholic beverages sell to distributors that ensure the drinks comply with state laws. The distributors then sell the products to vendors. Brewery owners testified to the subcommittee. Shannon Huddleston is the owner of Emerald Coast Brewing Company. She said the bill would help her brewery grow large enough to partner with them and promote local charities.
I am capped at what I can sell in my tap room. Distributors won't touch me. I am too small.
But Jared Ross, president of the Florida Beer Wholesalers Association, said the bill could lead to unmonitored sales between breweries and vendors.
The three-tier system exists to protect consumers and maintain accountability, and this bill puts that balance at risk.
Some members of the subcommittee were also concerned about the pressure breweries could place on the three-tier system if they grow without a distributor. Faith Montalvo, WMNF News.
Tampa's streetcar will remain fare-free through September after the city's Community Redevelopment Agency voted to fund it earlier this month. But as WMNF's Chris Young reports, council members say this is only a temporary solution.
The Tico Line streetcar has been free for riders since 2018 because of an annual $700,000 grant from the Florida Department of Transportation. But that grant expired, and now Tampa's Community Redevelopment Agency board hesitantly voted 6-1 this month to replace the funds. CRA board member and city council member Charlie Miranda voted against it. City council member Bill Carlson expressed concerns about the streetcar's fare-free future past that date.
We've got to figure out a different funding source for this for the future. It seems to be success that it's free, but if the state and federal government are not going to fund it, how do we figure this out? It's not sustainable the way it is.
The streetcar set an annual record last fiscal year with over 1.3 million trips taken, according to the city of Tampa. Chris Young, WMNF News.
Senate Republicans continue to engage in private discussions about restructuring Medicaid, the health insurance program for low-income individuals, to fund the extension of Trump's $4.6 trillion tax cut. As WMNF's Josh Holton reports, a 9-state coalition of organizations has banded together to lead health equity movements in southern states that have not expanded Medicaid. They met virtually this week to discuss what's at stake in Florida.
The Southerners for Medicaid Coalition is a group of hundreds of community leaders, grassroots organizations, nonprofit policy think tanks, which came together during previous efforts to repeal the Affordable Care Act. Maria Sutter is with Florida Voices for Health. She said threats to cut Medicaid will impact people in Florida with disabilities who rely on the funding for their medical needs.
The long-term waiver that I use here funds my in-home caregivers, pays for medications, and provides healthcare supplies. Essentially, it allows me to live in my home rather than in a more expensive institutional setting. To live in my home, my Medicaid waiver pays about $175 a day for my care versus $300 or more for care in a nursing home.
She said that the cuts to Medicaid will also impact caregivers who have been helping her.
They'll start leaving the field, and that will leave the disability community with fewer people to help us.
A recent report by the Commonwealth Fund and the George Washington University Milken Institute School of Public Health predicts that Florida may face a loss of nearly 45,000 jobs in 2026, along with a reduction of over $4.5 billion in its gross domestic product. The report highlights that most of these job losses, approximately 33,200, would stem from Medicaid cuts, prompting hospitals and nursing homes to downsize their staff. For WMNF News, I'm Josh Holton.
It's going to be sunny and warm with highs in the mid-80s today. Lows tonight will be in the mid-60s, and the same forecast is on tap for Friday. I'm Lisa Marzilli with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop.
Recorded at WMNF Tampa.